Me and the wife were at Bobbin Head.
It's called Ku-Ring-Gai National Park.
Ku-Ring-Gai, very nice. Next to a river, beautiful. Bobbin Head, Ku-Ring-Gai Chase National Park. Things to see and do. So I'm at the Sphnix Memorial. So this is the Sphinx. In memory of the fallen comrades. So doing the trek now. I'm gonna start walking. Walking with my wife. It's pretty good. That's my wife.
Oh my god.
I'm walking with my wife. Alright, so we decided to walk to the Bobbin Head. We're gonna see where this track goes. So check out the track. So we're gonna walk this whole thing. How are you feeling?
That's alright.
Who's my wife? Sphinx Fire Trail. So we're going to do the Sphinx walking track. It looks like a pretty cool track. So I'm deep in the woods and check out the walking track. That's what we're walking on. Pretty small. Make sure you got some good shoes. Listen carefully, you can hear the sound of the river. Talking to my YouTube followers. Just came across this big tree. This tree is massive. It's tree wax. Wonder how old this tree is. So as I was saying to Nicola, it's always easier to walk downhill, but what I'm worried about is going uphill. Check this out. It's not easy in these steps. So I'm walking, came across this big rock. Check out the rock. Pretty big rock, isn't it? Look at that. Massive. It's a massive rock. Massive rock. Not too bad. Let's keep going. Steep hill. Nice. Check this out. Nice and cool down here. That looks like clean water. So I made it down to the bottom. Doesn't look like the bottom, but mostly the bottom. Flat riverbed here. Behind me is a freshwater riverbed. Looks like it's fresh. It looks like it's drinkable.
Rainwater.
It's rainwater. You can see how good is that. So we've done half, and we're going to try and finish it off, because people who finish things at closes. Be a doer, not a don'ter. No one wants to be a don'ter. We've been walking for nearly 30 minutes, I believe. We'll see what happens. So this week, did pretty good in terms of sales. Managed to summarize my entire month of sales activity. Turns out that I did 130 sales calls, and out of the 130, 108 people rejected me, so 108 rejections. 22 people, I was able to book 22 appointments. From those 22 appointments, I was able to get 2 sales or 2 deals. Those 2 deals, the revenue ended up being $160,000. Track your numbers for 30 days. You learn a lot. You learn about your conversion rate, which is how many sales that you make out of how many phone calls that you make. I figured out that my conversion rate is about 12%. So if I want to make money, then all I need to do is make over 130 calls, and then I'll be able to close some deals. So that's pretty much the mathematics behind it. So if you're just starting out, I recommend for you to just start tracking numbers. Track how many phone calls you're making. Make it a goal to book 1 appointment per day. It all adds up, because 1 appointment equals 5 appointments per week. Out of those 5, you're going to get 1 deal. If you just stick to those numbers, everything will fall into place. So one of the biggest things that I learned, track my numbers. Number 1 is obviously your conversion rate. So you know out of how many phone calls you make, how many sales you're going to get out of those phone calls. So that's a really important number. It's like prediction. Another big thing is it builds confidence. After tracking progress for 30 days, you get really confident. You get really confident in talking to people, and also making appointments, and you get better at selling as well. I did the mathematics. If you're doing 10 phone calls a day, 5 days a week, then you're gonna make about 2,000 phone calls a year. Don't tell me that if you don't make 2,000 phone calls, you're not gonna get any deals. If you track your numbers for 30 days, you're gonna get more confident, you're gonna get better at sales, and you're gonna know how many phone calls you need to make to finally make money. And that's a very, very powerful insight. So you're no longer waking up in the morning and stressing about if I can get a sale or not. Make the amount of phone calls and you hit your numbers, and that's it. Every day I pull out my Excel spreadsheet, pull out my list of leads, and I just hit the phones, and I want to make sure that I hit my target of 10 phone calls per day. If I hit 10 phone calls per day, then I know that out of those 10, I'm going to get 1 or 2 appointments. And in the grand scheme of things, if I do 10 appointments, I'm going to get 1 sale, and that's it. So I highly recommend for you to always track your numbers. You got to track those numbers and track it for 30 days. When you track those numbers for 30 days, you're going to get really incredible insights. You're going to get stronger, you're going to get better, and you're going to be able to get even better in future because you know how many phone calls you need to make to get a sale. I think we made it to the bottom. So me and the wife, we made it. How do you feel, babe?
It was a small track.
So we reached the bottom. This is what it looks like at the bottom. Reminds me of that game, Last of Us, just without the zombies. So we're gonna try and go back to the top. That's the trek. Have to go back to the top. Let's do this. Hiking. Still walking in the woods. It is true. When you walk in the woods, it makes you feel better. After about 30 phone calls, you get really confident. The first 30 is really tough. The first 30 phone calls, really tough. Get over the 30 phone calls, you get more confident, you learn to think on your feet. You can also manage objections a lot more easier. The first 30 was really scary. Once you're over it, you get to another level where you're thinking, oh, I can't wait to make another phone call. And it just becomes about making the phone call. You just want to make a phone call and get those numbers, hit those numbers. And then all of a sudden, it's no longer about sales, it's about hitting your numbers. So I think that's really important is you separate emotion from sales and it just becomes a logical process. So I think that everyone should track the numbers for 30 days. Make sure you hit those numbers. Make the call, just make the call. All right, so we made it. We made it back to the Sphinx. We are back. So happy with that, but we are back. Happy about that. That was a good hike. That's the reason why, guys, don't skip leg day. So if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Catch you guys later.